You're frozen, by the way. Your camera's completely frozen.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I see it.
What'd you do?
I don't know. Let me check.
Are you watching the stream right now?
I'm not. Let me pop it open. This could have been prevented moving forward. We hope to see more duns. Oh my gosh. Hey. So I just got done editing this episode that you're watching. It's 1 o'clock at night, a little after 1:13. And I just wanted to preface this video with just apology. And I'm sorry, just ahead of before you see it. It got crazy, you know, a little chaotic. I'll say we're a little all over the place in this one. I figured that out once I was editing it. I was like, man, this is nuts. So, just for example, before this whole thing happened, we're supposed to shoot at 7, and I got here like 15 minutes late because I was getting pizza in the store below us, thinking it'd be quick. But there was, of course, a line, and it got here late, and then my technology didn't work. All these crazy things happened, and we didn't get started till like 7:30, and so it already was off to a bad start. And for the audio listeners right now listening, I'm in dress suit and tie. This is a full-on apology, right? This is professional. The background is very nice, scenic, very businessy. Not a messy home or anything like that. Just like picture Bill Gates or even any famous person you know. Picture them. That's what I look like right now because I'm sincere. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode. It was a little crazy. And just good luck out there. See you later. All right, bye.
I mean, I don't know the total history on this, but I think my grandpa carved this. Sentimental. Oh. You know what? To prove a point, I'm about to say I'll throw it away right now on camera.
I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it like this. Just for the record, did you ever like, you know?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Why can't we all just get along?
This is like a 90-10 friendship split.
Phase.
We gotta let that go. We just gotta. We gotta. I swear.
I was gonna like find a crew member and be like, send this message. I mean, I've been on boats before.
I don't think it's a
never
boat.
like
it's
this.
technically a ship.
You're an ass.
Josiah.
I'm blushing.
Yeah. And it's just like,
yeah.
Just want to give up on life. Not completely, you know, but you know.
One day I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna rub it in your face. I'm like, eat it.
Oh,
eat it.
That right there?
Yeah,
that's a Lego Wegmans. We spend 20% more than anyone else. Like, imagine those pores shopping at Tops in Price Chopper. What pores?
Bring over. Give me my charcuterie and lamb.
We're gonna get banned immediately. So you want to see my form now? We still want to stop by Coles real quick, and then I think we're still gonna get food in the food court. But once we're done with that, we should be able to make it home by midnight.
Good for you! I don't have family, all right?
I'm gonna clip that and send it to her.
This was a great Wegmans troglodyte.
Is your marriage okay?
I'm squeezing you. This is the little gnat on my screen.
We should go.
What a mistake of a podcast.
And we're live. Welcome back.
It hurts. Oh.
Welcome back. How do you feel now? I want you to know now your centering is wrong. Everything looks bad. Oh my gosh. So now, can you like shift your camera? Beautiful. Shift your camera the other way, away from your wall. No, like turn it away from your wall so that you're closer in the corner. Don't center yourself. You know, you got to center in the stream.
I'm just going to watch and see. Okay, it's got to go down just a little bit.
It's too much now.
It's like I'm watching it 8 seconds. Wait, a little bit more. Where you think there?
Nope, too low.
So it's got to go higher. Good?
You're too close, but it's okay. It happens.
I can't really back up.
Yeah.
I could go back like this.
So now you're off centered.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, looks good.
All right, let me view. So what time? Let's get an actual start time. 7:23. 7:23. 23 minutes late.
You know what?
How
I
do
know
you
that
feel?
sucks, but I'm glad that it's not stuttering and it's still off. Gosh darn it.
I wish maybe I should make a poll based on like who everyone feels like is at fault currently.
Hey, just because you have your wife watching and no one else doesn't mean that a poll will work.
At least my wife watches.
I'm glad mine doesn't.
Anyways, all right. First of all, I just want to say
Oh.
these right here, Cayman Jack, Moscow Mules, terrible.
Why does that look like medicine?
It tastes like medicine. It is just.
Oh.
Now, granted, I've drank 4 tonight already. Oh, and Mia's watching.
No.
Oh, guess what? I have extended family watching. That's the commitment level difference.
Good for you. I don't have family. All right. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, it's fine.
I have one family member who might watch, and I've already offended them if they did watch.
Oh boy.
So.
Love your wife.
No, not her. She won't watch.
Oh, poor Bethany. Is she just in the back quietly listening, going, oh, "What a joke"?
Yeah. At the end of the day, she just has a list for me, and then she'll give it to me, and then it's all the bad things I've done. Or
That's
said.
actually what happens with Quinn. Every time we end the stream, she goes, "The audio was off. You really were slouching. Josiah was sniffling." She just roasts us start to finish.
I was like, all right. I was sniffling though, so I hope I fixed
and I was
that.
slouching. I still am slouching, but I adjusted my camera so you can't tell.
Yeah, I feel like you're in the lower third of the screen.
But if you watch
on
the stream,
Twitch, you can't
it's
tell.
centered.
Mine just looks awful, so it's...
Yeah, it does. It's actually going to make everything difficult after the fact to fix. Especially being
That
off
doesn't matter. I will handle that.
I just am blown away at the fact you can't even center yourself right now for me.
I'm trying. It's not bad. I don't know why you can't center. You have my whole camera.
So you want me to stop what I'm doing right now to edit the lines to move you to center?
You have to do something. Ooh.
All right. Well, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. We're done. We're good. We're good to go. Moving forward.
Then quit complaining. All right, I'm ready.
All right.
For your question.
So let's actually get moving.
Oh yeah, you're in charge of this podcast,
I am.
so I think this was a bit. I think it was a bit you made somehow.
Okay, well,
where you were like messed it up for me somehow.
All right.
And now that was part of your setup. I believe it.
Yeah, actually, the whole focus on this entire episode is friendship levels and who contributes more to a relationship, and how you're slowly draining me. But it's fine. So
that's great. I'm really excited.
I'm gonna start telling a story. Okay, it doesn't involve you in any way, but it's gonna prompt you to tell the most insane thing I think you've ever done.
Uh-oh.
It's very simple. So, what I decided to start doing, me and my wife, we go, you know what, we need more money saved up. We need to start looking for a house, moving on, doing more. Okay. So what's the first thing I decide to do? Start selling stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, you know what, Magic the Gathering cards. I have something like $600. You know where this is going already.
I'm so angry. It's okay. I'll let you finish.
I have like $600 listed on there. We're going through selling stuff on Mercari. I'm going to sell everything that I own, just trying to save a little bit. Nothing too interesting though. So start from the beginning, walk me through the mental process. And actually a note I have here is a little arrow and it points to Josiah's Manic episode.
There was a Manic episode.
Please walk me through what you did.
Are you still surprised?
Yes, 100%.
Oh yeah. I go back and I still haven't mourned the things I threw out.
Yep, walk us through it. What did you do?
All right, so basically, well, it all it's so hard to start, but we started with, I guess, my
Don't
old
say
house.
we. Don't say we.
Okay, me. I'll say me because Bethany had nothing to do with it. But basically, we got kicked out of our house because like the pastor. Okay, I'll start even further back. It's like what we got kicked out. But I had a pastor job at this church, and we lived in a parsonage that wasn't owned by the church that I was employed to. It was owned by a different church, and they basically said, "Hey, you can live here dirt cheap. Like it was the best deal I've ever had. It was like $100 a week. It was like a full house. And they basically said, the only thing is if someone, like if we get a pastor, he's going to have to move in. And so we were like, oh, they're never going to find a pastor because it's been like 5+ years and they still didn't have one. Turns out they got some guy. And then she's like, you have 1 month. And I was like, and that's a whole nother can of worms because they were the worst people. They were really frustrating to deal with.
I hope they hear this.
Like they would like sneak into our house while we were gone to check on the house. And I was like, what the heck? Because I was like, what if my wife was in the shower or something? Anyway, so I didn't know who had keys. Like I never knew. And so anyway, we have to scramble to find a house during COVID, right? Was that when it was? I think it was during peak COVID stuff. Because there was like 0 houses available. And so I talked to our boss who's like they're great. Like they know a ton of people around the area and they got us a little place, but it was like $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month, something. And it was like this little house. And so we had to pile everything in in boxes. And so we lived there for about 1 year and 4 months, I think. And we just never got things out of boxes because I think we're kind of mad about that. And so like a lot of crap was in the basement. And so the house never really looked like a home because we just were like, whatever, we don't really care. We don't want to be here. We're just here because we got kicked out. And then we moved here in a tiny little apartment that has one closet. that is it for storage. And so we had boxes everywhere. And there was just one day where I was just sick of it. Like this is where it all built up. And I was like, I don't need anything. I just picked up. I had like a crazy collection of like all these like Nerf guns. I know it's like kid toys or whatever, but they were sick. Like I had like these expensive, like those short dart guns. Remember those?
Yeah.
Like I had like 3 or 4 of those that shot like 150 feet per second. Tossed them in the dumpster. Threw out all of my Magic the Gathering cards, which there's like a big old. I had binders for them. I bought. Remember when we went to Rochester and I threw them all out, threw everything out, even Bethany's cards because they were part of mine. So I was like, whatever. She wasn't that upset because I kind of bought them, but she was like, why'd you do that? We could still play. And I'm like, but I threw those out. I threw out all my old PlayStation stuff, my Xbox, everything. And, there's this one funny bit where I was walking to the dumpster with my cart of 360 stuff. And this pizza guy was just walking by and I said, dude, you want a free 360? And he was like, sure, dude, I'll take it. And I just gave it to him and I was like, all right, see ya. I just walked away. And it had controllers, it had games. That was probably like easily $300-$400 of just stuff in a big crate I just gave to that guy. He probably went and sold it and made money. But that's not all I threw out. Like I just threw out all my old clothes. I threw out like all my childhood stuff. Bethany had like managed to save like 1 or 2 things. All my old jerseys, all my trophies, everything gone. Except my board games.
Woo!
They still here. But yeah, it's just me, my airsoft stuff, my piano, and my board games.
So not to play the job of a, therapist, but all I would like to know is focus on the point where this actually happened. What was going through your mind? What were you like? I'm done. I give up. I'm overwhelmed. Thousands of dollars is going in the trash. I'm over it. Walk me through it.
So I'm so mad about it now thinking about it, but I'm also, I can see both sides still.
Okay.
So to me, yes, I could have spent a lot of time selling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I could have made money. Like a lot of the stuff was good. However, to me at the time, I was like, I'm sick of living out of boxes and just carrying my crap everywhere. So like, to me, I was like, I want to fill my house with my kids' toys, not all my things from my childhood. So I was kind of like, yeah, I could try it. Some of the stuff I don't think I could have made any money on, but Magic cards I probably could have. Mm-hmm. Some of those like PlayStation stuff, like that's all retro games. So I probably could have made something off of it.
But it's gone.
But I digress.
It's all gone.
But it's gone. And it's kind of freeing in a way, but I kind of do feel like I took my psyche and just cut it. And now I have like phantom pain from like I never like resolved the things and what was going on in my head. It was just a mad dash of just throwing everything in a dumpster. Like, ah!
I know I was involved in any way, but I'm still in shock. Like it genuinely surprised me, and I was like, "What's going on? What do you mean? Is everything
Is he
okay?
in trouble?
Is your marriage okay? Like what's going on?"
Bethany's just like,
Yeah.
stayed out of it. But
Gosh.
actually made my one sister cry because I threw out, I guess, a toy that mattered to her that we played with growing up. Grow up. That's my
Grow up.
response.
I hope she's. Please, I'm gonna clip that and send it to her, saying you're being a baby.
Grow up. Yeah, that. I don't know, because on the one hand, yes, that was really stupid, and that's still an argument that needs to be said.
Okay.
On the other hand, okay, I feel like we have so much stuff, you know, as people, and it's kind of like, it's nice to kind of just restart. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean,
on
you
the
want to
other
go
hand-
more minimalist. I get it.
Yeah. And I could have taken a lot of time, because if I had taken the time to list everything, taking the time to respond to people that are ghosting you, taking the time to drive places, drop things off, or to ship things. I was like, I could do that, but I just wanted it now. I was like, I just need to see the floor.
I understand.
You know?
I don't understand, but I understand.
I still have like my most valuable things I didn't get rid of, like my $700 airsoft gun. I still have my keyboard that I use all the time, my PC.
Oh,
But
if you
a
threw
lot of
away
my
your
clothes are
PC.
gone. I just pick it up. We're done. That'd be basically throwing our friendship out, because that's the only reason we hang out.
Exactly. I don't have time to besides that, so
No,
here we are.
No, thinking about that though, it'd be really hard to like stay like together, you know, as friends if we didn't have this. So
I know, and here we are documenting.
But have
our
you ever done
memories.
anything like that? You know, throwing everything away?
No.
Have you ever thought about it at least? You know, like one day, you know, just to feel like you did it by thinking it.
No.
So it's just me? Am I the only person?
I've never had a complete mental breakdown that resulted in me throwing everything I own away.
Let's not call it that. All right, let's call it a I was alive.
I was alive. I was living.
No, I'm still kicking myself for what I did, because I think some of the stuff was stupid to throw out. Like magic cards don't take up any space. I think I was just spiting myself.
So
like, you know what?
Yeah, out of everything you threw out, the crazy part to me is like anything personal. Like how you're like, oh yeah, old drawings from me being a kid. Boop, dumpster.
Yep.
Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, to me, I don't think I'm that sentimental as a person. Like thinking about it, because like Bethany will be like, we were going through a lot of her stuff too, and she was like, oh, someone gave me this when I was in 5th grade. I'm keeping that. And I was like, really? Like it's literally a napkin that says heart Seth or something.
Yeah,
like,
heart Seth.
Like, heart Seth. Thanks for kissing me. You know, like things like that.
Now,
but
okay, that just did spawn something like in my mind, which maybe this is terrible, but maybe I'm not that sentimental either. This is gonna kill Quinn. She already knows I did this, and she freaked out when I did. So, I was trying to basically jailbreak my PS4. I wanted to try to play retro games on it.
Okay.
You need a USB drive to do that, and I wanted to do it now.
I know what's gonna happen.
I wanted the USB drive now. I wanted to get the PS4 working now. I wasn't going to go out to Best Buy, do anything like that. So I searched around the house and I found one. The one I found was a custom wooden USB drive that had all of our wedding photos on it.
What? That's the one you used?
So I took they're backed up somewhere. I have them. I put them on the hard drive of my old computer. I moved all the photos off, cleaned out the USB drive, and put put all the info for the PS4. And now we can't.
It's a USB drive.
And now we can't find the USB drive. And it says like Quinn and Mark established, all on the front. It's gone. So maybe I'm not that sentimental either. Maybe we're
the
both
pictures
bad
that
people.
mattered.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and I still have them.
I think we're similar, because you got in that like hive mind where you're like,
I need this now. You're like, I need the floor. I said, I need PS4 retro games. Same difference.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, because it is funny how we're different people. Like Bethany and I, just seeing how, because I was like, oh, we're so similar, but the longer we've been together, I'm like, I think we're different too.
Yeah,
like, and that's good, but. It's just funny because to me, I'm like, this is an old shirt, a jersey for my football team that I don't need. because it was Pee Wee football, and then Bethany's like, it was Pee Wee football.
Yeah, it was
Pee Wee
like, football.
Skadoosh.
Yeah, right in the dumpster. There's certain things I
See
say.
her in the dumpster later, looking around.
I have like, actually right back here. I mean, I don't know the total history on this, but I think my grandpa carved this. Sentimental. You know what? To prove a point, I'm about to say I'll throw it away right now on camera. No, I'm just kidding. I love that. So,
I'm trying to think what was the most valuable thing I threw out besides like the magic things.
You probably had some interesting magic cards in there. They're probably gone for.
Honestly, I remember looking through them though, and like the most something was worth was I think $7 because I had a lot of new cards. I had a few of the old ones, but I remember when we opened them, you had like really nice ones. You're like, "Wow, look at this one, $30."
I spent
and I was
so
like,
much money.
$7.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Oh, look, my card's worth $1." I'm like, "Mine's worth $40. I spent $130 to get it, but mine's worth $40."
I'm just glad you actually sold them.
They're not all gone yet.
But you listed them.
They're all listed, yeah. Actually, some just got returned to us because Quinn can't write a 5 clearly. It looks like a 6. So it just got returned to us, and now I have to deal with an angry customer. But
okay,
you know, it happens.
That's kind of why I threw out Magic, not because of angry customers, but I threw out Magic because the whole basis of it is just buying.
Oh yeah,
buying, you know, and that's part of the fun. And that's why I was like, I need to save money so I don't feel so bad about throwing them away.
Yeah.
Skadoosh
in the trash. I still get
trash.
It's crazy. But moving on from that, like I guess like one of the reasons like we started selling, and I guess the thing that started getting me on like the mindset of I think I hate my job and I want to like do more. Like the person who got me thinking that is like one of the guys that I used to work with. He like gave up his job on the spot with no backup plan and was like, I'm gonna do landscaping. And I was like, okay, loser. You know, I was like, whatever you say, buddy. And
you judged him hard.
And then the money he's raking in is like 2 to 3 times what I'm making now. And he's like, look at my LLC, look at my tax attorney, look at this, look at that. And I'm like, So I feel like
you're like, I have a friend.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, so I feel like
I made a podcast.
There, I mean, have you? Because I know you used to landscape.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess
hard work.
Hard work. But I guess like what you talked about is like something as crazy as just like starting your own bakery and just selling bread.
Oh yeah, I still kind of want to do that. It's so odd. When I told my parents that, they're like, they just looked at me like, you're a little skinny to be selling dough.
I'm more behind that than the landscaping idea. I was like, you should sell bread. I was like, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna brag, but like I make just sourdough bread, 30-hour process, you know. It's really good. Actually, so bouncing off of that, my boss just asked me to make some for their catering event.
Really?
My first gig.
So let's do the math. 30-hour process.
I'm gonna make $4.
I'm about to say $30 process, minimum wage. So you're gonna charge $150 a loaf? Is that the plan?
No, it's more. The bread kind of does the work. I barely touch it.
Okay.
But I think with such a low margin product like that, you have to be pumping it out. Like you have to have multiple ovens and stuff like that. And I'd love to get to that point. But kind of my process right now is because we're helping our boss like start a business near the end of this year or whatever, and we're gonna be running it kind of thing. But they're still owning it or whatever. But like my goal is kind of like to learn everything from that and then apply it to a bakery one day, hopefully, or just anything, you know, a coffee shop.
Yeah.
This podcast.
Yeah. Start paying me minimum wage. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to pay guests if we invite them on. We'll be like, how's $25 in a can of Coke? How's that sound?
$25 and a nice little shout out.
A little shout out from people below you.
From nothing.
But yeah, what do you think? Have you thought of like, cause okay, we could landscape, but I don't think we have a heart for it. Do you?
I feel like I don't know. That's hard to say. Like, am I passionate? Because I
landscaped for 2 years about.
That's a hard question to ask someone. You're like, are you passionate about grass?
Are you passionate about making money?
100%. That's the same thing. Same thing. Like people at my job are like, "Oh, well, I stay here because I enjoy it." I'm like, if I was offered more money anywhere else, I would leave. I'm like, doesn't matter how much I like a job, and oh, you work where you love, never work a day. No, no.
That's BS.
I'm sorry, but I could work anywhere for the rest of my life for the right amount of money. So, but no, I think landscaping.
Clip that.
Like, yeah, clip that. I think landscaping is like, I don't want to say it's easy, but I want to say like, it's a lower barrier to entry than most businesses on your own. I mean, think of something as simple as a laundromat. You have to have a physical location where you're paying rent. At least with landscaping, all you need is lawnmower, trailer, go.
And testosterone.
And plenty of testosterone, more than I have.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, whenever we went landscaping, all we had was an LLC, and like there was on the side of our truck a logo, and people saw that logo all the time and just called because they saw us drive by and do their neighbor's lawn. Yeah. And our competition were people shirtless or wearing wife beaters smoking. That was the competition. So it's like if you show up a little professional, because we had khakis and polos on, like red polos and tan khakis. And it was just, I hated wearing that like in the sun all day. Yeah. But we looked professional. And even if we did crap work, you couldn't tell because we looked great. Yeah. You know, so.
And that's what I feel about my friend that actually started it. I'm like, I don't even know if he knows how to cut lawn well. Like, I'm sure by this point he does, but he is just such a smooth talker. You know, where he's just like, how's it going? How's the wife and kids? Remembers everyone's names. I'm like, that's all you have to do. Yeah. So I've actually, we're going to say, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, because with grass, even if you don't cut it great, you're coming back next week. Exactly. You know, it's not the most unforgiving thing. Yeah, exactly. It's not the most unforgiving job, though, because you can, if you're just make a good relationship with people, you're going to keep coming back. And that's what's great about it. Because people always need lawn work, and old people have money, and old people love having their lawns taken care of.
Exactly. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, because that's my thing. It's like, no way it's something that I want to do where I'm just like, okay, next summer, I'm quitting my job, and I'm going all in. You know? No. Yeah. No, I make good money.
You don't have the balls.
I do not have the balls at all. I can't even invest in the stock market because it's too scary. I'm risk averse. I'm like, every time they have put money in the stock market, I watch it every minute because I'm terrified. So any chance of losing money, not for me. So
why do you go to the casino then? Oh, you don't care about the money. You're not there to make money. That's why.
No, exactly. I lose 100% of it every time. And that's fine. I accept that. But as far as like landscaping, I actually started looking into it, and it's like, dude, I hate to steal my wife's car, but it's going to have to happen. You can get a simple trailer hitch for a small SUV, a simple trailer, a used lawnmower, and have like the barrier to entry be $2,000-$3,000. And when it's that low, you can be like, you know what, just on Saturdays. And just
I already have a $500 weed whacker.
Oh yeah, that's also a why did you buy that weed whacker?
That was like one of the ones we had when I landscaped, and I was like, I just want to have a really nice weed whacker because whenever I have to weed whack, because I always use crappy ones, but when we were landscaping, you could weed whack any place in like 10 minutes. And I was like, if I ever want to go weed whacking, I hate doing it, so I want to be done fast. And it's so quick.
You took your money that you made from working for someone landscaping. You took that money and you invested it back into his company?
Into mine. I never used that for him.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought you bought it just to help him. Just to help him weed
whack. I thought about it. I told them, I was like, hey, if you ever have one break down, I have an extra, but it never came to that. Yeah. And part of me thought, I was like, I'll do landscaping on my own. Never did. I don't know. I mean, I could probably around here. I've seen the competition, and I'm always looking at grass now, and I'm seeing like how people like put mulch in and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I could have done that better.
Yeah. That's my logic. I'm like, you know what? If I just put like decent effort in and I just smooth talk people, I'm like, why not try to work like one extra day a week on something?
Yeah. You get tan and you get buff. Exactly. You know, I was like the strongest I've ever been when I was doing that.
Yep. Now look at you.
That's how I got Beth.
That's how I got Beth. Landscaping. Almost ran her over.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. But is there like another spot that you've thought in the past where you're like, you know what? I could do that. You know, or something you're more passionate about? There has to be something.
I mean, so I started looking into stuff like that with, like, while my arm was broken, I was like, what can I do that doesn't require movement? You know? And it's like, the whole issue with like starting any business or starting anything is like, maybe it does come from me being like risk averse, but I'm like, I want to do this. Oh, it costs money to do. Do I really want to spend $1,000 invest? Like, for example, you could look into like Amazon selling. Like, that's one of the things I talked about with Quinn, like actually starting up another, like an LLC, trying to sell stuff on Amazon just from buying products from, you know, like third-party websites, like Chinese-made websites, and just putting your own name on it, moving on. But same thing, I'm like, oh, do I really want to invest my own money into something like that if it may fail?
You're not knowing the outcome.
Yeah. And I think that's my mindset for my entire life. So it's hard to like shake that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's stopping me is I'm like, oh, I could do Amazon selling. Like, I'm good with numbers, I could figure all this out. And then it's like, well, you have to buy the product. And I'm like, ooh, buying it, monthly fee, Is that something I really want to do? What if it fails?
Great people are remembered for their risks.
Who?
Steve Jobs.
And he was successful. So was it worth it? I mean, does it matter?
Was it worth it? Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
He died of cancer.
But I mean, have you ever have you ever worked on something like that? Like thought of like, you know what, I'm going to start this.
Did you know for a while I wanted to be a real estate agent?
I did not know that. Really?
I looked into like getting a license, looked into like how to do it, because like this one guy was talking about, I mean, he was in LA because I was watching some video about it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how easy it is to sell houses because people are already, it's like the most important purchase they're going to make in their life. Yeah. So it's a little scary, but he said like all you have to do is sell one big house and be friendly and be nice. And then you make bank off of just selling a house. And I was like, oh, that's such a sick idea, because all you got to do is get your license. I think it's like $1,000. It's not that crazy. Yeah. Like, I mean, for me, it sounds crazy, but in the grand scheme of looking at how expensive school was, like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And so I thought about that, but my problem is I just feel like I'd be bored. It just seems too adult, you know, to be like,
too adult to
I'm going to sell houses. Like, is that what I want to be remembered for? He sold homes. Like, he was a great guy. Yeah. He sold homes.
As you're driving by in your Corvette, you're like, it's boring.
As I'm working at a cash register, like,
yeah, that sounds boring. I don't
want to do that. It's too boring.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like I have the attention span of a fly. Like, I just bounce to the next thing, and I'm just like, oh, this sounds cool. This sounds cool. This sounds cool. This sounds cool.
I'll be like, dude, you did such a good job on that bread. That's so cool. And you're like, you want to see these coffee beans I'm gonna start roasting? And I'm like, on your own, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna start roasting coffee. I'm like, okay.
Such a prick.
You move on quick, but everything you do, like, this is, in all honesty, I mean, this is gonna sound, I feel like the same episode we did last time, where I'm just beating your meat.
Whack me off?
Yeah, I'm gonna whack you off some more. But everything you do commit to, it's like, you know, delicious bread. You did ginger beer. You did coasters. Everything that you're like, I'm gonna do this. It's like spicy.
Isn't that weird though? Because like I get attached to one thing, then move on. I feel like I have a lot of like skills.
Don't tell your wife.
But I'm not like a master. I'm like not a master at anything though, you know, because like I take little things and try new ones, like wood projects I really like. Yeah. And honestly, it'd be really cool to redeem pallets. Like, I think that'd be something fun to do. Because I made, oh, can you even see it? Oh, I hope you can't. There's a thing I made out of pallet wood, and it just looks so bad. Here, I'm going to go
grab it. Yeah, please grab it. I want to see it. I did hear a little bit about this. Yeah. I'm so excited. I haven't actually seen it yet.
Literally a stick. It's a stick. Yeah. Oh, that was good workmanship. I couldn't break that.
Dude.
But yeah, I put a stick in this box. Like, it was just a frame I made out of pallet wood.
You put a twig in it.
It looks so bad.
Oh my gosh.
The pictures of what they're supposed to look like, and then what I made, it's just, it's like the meme where they're like, Mom, can I have pizza? We have pizza at home. And then it's just a sock covered in sauce or something.
Oh
So
my gosh.
that's what I made.
I honestly expected so much more. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it looked better, but then it fell and then pieces fell off and I was just like,
I'm over
part
it.
of it is I don't have the tools. I did it all by hand and that just took forever.
I thought you were going to make chess pieces as well. That was your other...
Yeah, well, I was looking into buying lathes and they're expensive. So Beth was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's got to be so hard being Beth because every week I'm like, come up with something else to buy. I'm like, let's do this.
It's got to be so hard to be my wife.
I can imagine. She's like trying to hold down the finances. Like, please, we just got to make it a payday. I'm not going to buy anything.
To support you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's great.
I feel like...
Isn't that weird? Are you that way with things too? Because like you just started getting into coffee. You bought a...
So I think the difference...
Oh, I was going to say.
I think the difference is you... Like when you want to spend money and when you go a little crazy, you're a creator. I am 100% consumer through and through. I will be like, you know what? I'm going to spend money today. Like just on my day off Friday, I woke up early at 7 a.m. I'm going to be productive. First thing I did, got McDonald's, bought brand new earbuds, went out, bought Stella stuff. Then I was going to go get new Crocs. I'm like, I just consume. That's all I do. I'm just a consumer.
The other day I had a day off. I'm like, I'm going to make bread. Just, all day long, I just made bread.
No, I'm just the opposite. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to break is being like, you know what? I need to start creating things and like creating wealth or doing something productive.
Yeah, that's my problem. I just make things and I just give them away or just they don't
break them in half. Try to snap them over your knee. Yeah,
no one would buy that. I was going to try to sell it to someone, but I was like, I wouldn't buy that.
You have to sell it to your blind grandmother is your only chance.
Who would buy that?
You know,
I could start an Etsy shop and put a fake picture up and then give them that.
And sell that and then close the Etsy shop. Be like, okay, we're done.
$7.
Ooh.
Bing.
You know what's funny off your real estate thing? I actually started looking into home inspecting.
Oh, that's similar.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I want to see what it would take to be like either part-time or do anything like that. And the process was rough. It was like thousands of dollars. You had to be in classroom multiple times a week. It was just the whole thing. I'm like, man, do I really want to commit hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars to something that might not be successful? Actually, you know what's funny? This got me thinking about, you'll love this. I think I might have already told you, but thinking of a home inspector and a realtor is when Quinn and I went to buy, or at least look at our first house up here in Rochester. And tell me if you wouldn't feel bamboozled like I did. So we get this realtor and he is not at all what you'd think. He was like funny guy, looked a little nerdy, super cool.
Was he white?
He was super white.
Okay.
And the first
Sorry,
thing,
that's what you're gonna say.
Oh, the first thing he tells us, he goes, he's like, I'm also a home inspector. And he just like listed all of his qualifications. And the best part is he goes, do you know the Chi-Lai community center? And we're like, no, we never come out this way. And he goes, well, he was like, if you ever want to question my home inspecting skills, just know I'm also a structural engineer, and I was the one that designed that building. And we're like, this guy has basically done it all. So
he's like your dad.
Exactly. He's like looking at this house for us, and he is going to town, inspecting it, telling us what problems he sees, what he likes. The problem is with me is it was built 100 years ago. So it was built like in 1920 or 1930, and it was completely gutted and redone. So we liked it. And even from his home inspection, he pointed out a few things that would need to be done. And I was like, okay, you know what? Even with this, I think we still want to place our offer. So he says, okay, it has to be done tonight. I'm going to draw everything up right now. He starts working on it, and like at 9:30 at night, he sends it to me. I have to immediately sign it and send it back. He goes, sign it, send it back so I can submit it tonight. I go, okay, sounds good. So I start, like a responsible adult, actually read through it. And I start reading, and I'm like, okay, everything looks normal. And then I get down like 3/4 of the way through, and it says, the buyer waives his right to the home inspection. And I go, whoa. I said, when did Quinn or I ever say we didn't want a home inspection? I said, I never said that. She never said that. So I said, can you call me right now? And he called me and goes, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, I don't feel comfortable waiving the home inspection like this. And he immediately, I don't want to say he goes off, but he's like, well, that was the whole point. He goes, that's why I looked at the house the way I did. That's why I went over it the way I did, so that you guys could wave it and feel good about it. And the first thought I had, I said, this guy,
not good.
This guy is benefiting off of us selling the house, or off of us buying the house. He makes money on us buying it. Why would we want to trust him to be, yep, the house looks good, don't worry about anything, you should buy it? That's the first thing he does. He goes, well, and this is the best part. He goes, if you have a home inspection, he goes, you are not going to get this house. This is basically said this is a waste of time for him and everybody.
Good.
And I said, and I was like, yeah, exactly. I said, well, we're still going to go through the home inspection, so thank you. And I mean, sure enough, someone ended up buying it with cash, so it didn't matter. But I said, what a dick.
Yeah.
I said, do you think, I just felt, like I said, I genuinely felt bamboozled in that moment. I'm like, this guy is benefiting by us buying it, and he tries to get us to waive a home inspection because he did a home inspection in 15 minutes by saying, yep, looks good.
Yeah, so maybe he's not as cool as we thought.
I mean,
he sounded cool.
That's the thing. I
wanted to get his autograph.
I know, he genuinely was cool. Like the way he talked, everything. Like this, I think I told you about this, but he basically called the house Piss House, and was like, every house has he's like, every house has a story. Sometimes neighbors call it Piss House, and the neighbor ended up coming outside, and he genuinely ended up asking the neighbor if the house has a nickname, and does anyone call it Piss House? Like he was hilarious, like such a good guy. But then after that, I don't know, we were just sketched out. Didn't really feel comfortable anymore. But yeah, anyways, can't buy a house right now because it's so expensive. So it's fine. Moving on. Living in an apartment for life.
You know, this got me thinking about how I look at some of my friends and they had drive to just be something their whole life. You know, they're like, you know what? I want to be a doctor or a nurse, or like Bethany's sisters. They're both like in the medical field. Oh, sorry. But that's carbonated drink. It's very hard to talk. But she's a nurse. Danny is. And she basically is like always wanted to be a nurse or whatever. And it's just crazy because to me, I just feel like I can't commit to one thing. Marriage, I can. That definitely is a commitment.
Same, boys.
But you know, I'm just never like, oh, I want to be blank, and that's what I want to do until I die. And maybe that's just the stupid, because you said like you'll do anything if you have money, and maybe I just need to just be okay with that. But I feel like I just have so many like little things. I'm like, if it just had all of these things, like if I had video editing in there, you know, if I could bake some bread once in a while, if you know, I could go on the road, go on a road trip, cut some grass, you know, do some singing
little of
or something.
everything.
Then I would do that job. And maybe that's why one day I will be a creator.
Yeah, travel vlogger.
Yeah, no. Hey, guys.
Yeah, no, I get that. And like I said, as much as I say, oh, I could do anything as long as it's money, like I genuinely, as you know, as like pointless as it seems, I love like business. I love just managing. I love the numbers behind things. Like I enjoy just going to work and pulling up P&Ls and being like, if I cut labor by 5%, I can, and then I just love the numbers. So
yeah, I'm not analytical at all. Bethany is though, so she handles a lot of the business side of our life.
A lot of the finances.
I can just like put my head down and just do something, and then I look up and it's like been 12 hours. I'm like,
what just happened? Yeah. And you can buy whatever you want. She manages to hide it all. She just can't. So that's all it is. Yeah, no, we managed to move to like where we use our tips for spending money. So if whatever we get as tips, that's what we can use, because it doesn't really count towards our bills or anything. Yeah, Quinn and I started saving like amazing. We were saving like every penny, barely spent anything. And the second this whole house fiasco happened, and we both got depressed because we realized that the market is so hot still that we never were going to buy a house, we basically just went crazy. And hey, surprise, we're all going on a cruise together. Hey, surprise. We just keep spending money because it's kind of, I don't know, I hate to say like it's depressing, but like we're in this apartment for another year now. And it's just like, just want to give up on life. Not completely, you know, but you know.
Yeah, kind of just a little
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in other words, going on a cruise in 21 days.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's
I'm very excited.
In all honesty, that's probably the craziest thing we've ever done. Is just
I've never even considered this ever.
I jokingly say we should go on a cruise, and then an hour later,
then we're
like, we go, we're going on a
three
cruise.
beers later.
Yeah,
three
beers later, good. We're what? It's I think what do we do in like a month and 10 days or something? We scheduled it.
Yep.
And now we're 21 days away from going on a cruise with no warning at all.
I am regretting a lot of my life, but I'm very excited for this.
Exactly. I feel bad about a lot of things, but not this cruise. I am so excited for it. First cruise for both of us.
I know. I've never been on a boat like that. I mean, I've been on boats before.
I don't think
but
it's a
never
boat.
like
it's
this.
Technically a ship.
You're an ass.
You're a dong. But but I'm very excited for it.
Dude, I cannot wait. The only bad thing is it's not like a Disney cruise, so there's no Mickey Mouse or anything coming out.
There's no Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry. There's just Jamaicans.
This is just Jamaican John. I'm very excited for that food thing we're gonna do, like the 5-course meal.
Yes.
Very excited for that.
I know.
They're gonna hand out these like really incredible dishes, and I'm just gonna be like, need salt.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like,
oh man, I cannot wait for that part. Just the food and what it's gonna be like. I don't know. I'm excited not to have service. You know, no phone. No one can bother me from work.
I know. Nothing. When we were looking at the Wi-Fi package, I was like, nah,
we don't need it.
We're just gonna sit here.
I actually looked into a little bit more. Like I don't know. I'm being real analytical, John, and I'm looking up the most minute details, such as, how am I gonna communicate with Josiah if we're not in the same room and we have no service? So.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, most minute details I've already thought of just because, I don't know, that's something I enjoy. And I've already planned it out. The app that they have is $2 a day to be able to chat in it. And you can chat with specific people. And it's the cheapest option.
But didn't you need Wi-Fi or no?
No. Well, you're always... Okay, now I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. Apparently, on Royal Caribbean Cruises, if you have an iPhone, you can send iMessages back and forth to people, even if you didn't pay for the Wi-Fi package. They might have that fixed by the time we go, but you, and I don't have an iPhone, so say you and Quinn or Beth and Quinn, you can send iMessages even without being connected to the internet, as long as you're on their Wi-Fi. But you can be on it without paying for it. So you'll just like sit there uncomfortably. Or we can pay $2 a person, like you and I, to actually be able to chat back and forth. Those are the details that I'm thinking of right now.
Because I was just thinking I was going to like find a crew member and be like, send this message, and then like written down on like a napkin.
Can you
143?
Can you find Mark and tell him we're gonna go on the water?
Get going. Let's spank him around the butt.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like that's also like, I mean, back on the business front, like I've learned a lot about like project management, and it's like thinking of those small details. I'm like, love that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm glad that you like that kind of stuff.
I
feel like that's where we diverge.
Exactly. And that's why we'd be perfect.
I like the idea of someone who can do it. That's why I want to be friends with someone who can.
That's why we'd be great business partners, though. You make the thing, I manage everything around the thing.
Yeah, so it's really like 20%, 80%. That's what it
am I the 20 or am I the 80?
You're the 80?
Just like the friendship. Actually, okay, all right, here we go. This is another thing I thought of.
This or at least 30, 70.
No, this will 100% prove this is like a 90-10 friendship split. And once I start telling the story, you're going to be like, wow, I forgot how bad of a person I used to be.
Does it involve prickers?
It does involve prickers. Okay. I can't believe you guessed that right off the bat.
I did. You always use this.
I always use this analogy. I think I told this at your wedding. I might have. But anyways,
I have a response, but I'll wait.
Let me walk through this. We were what, like 12 to 15 years old. I'm at a camp I've never been to. Going on a little hike, you know, small group, like 3 or 4 of us.
I knew this camp like the back of my hand.
Okay, so it doesn't have any effect to the story. So we're going on this walk, and I'm not paying a lot of attention to Josiah because who really cares? But we get up further, and I look back, and he's gone. Nowhere to be found. And I'm like, Josiah. He's nowhere. And I go, guys, don't worry. I'm going to go back and find him. So I start walking down the path, calling his name. Oh, actually, let's just rewind. The most important aspect of this story is I just told everyone that I got brand new shorts. I go, guys, look at my brand new shorts that I spent my own hard-earned money on. Expensive shorts. Purple? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But the shorts are important, and you're going to see why. Because as I'm going back down this path to find him, I no lie, my heart sinks and my stomach's turning because I start hearing choking in the woods. It's like, and I'm like, Josiah? And just off in the distance. And I put my arms up in front of my face and I book it straight into a pricker bush to burst through to the other side to try to help him. I don't know if an animal's attacking him. I don't know what's going wrong. I burst through the bushes, and on the other side, he's laying down like this. And he goes, he sits up when he sees me, goes, I was testing your friendship. You're a really good guy.
Get baited.
Get baited. My shorts destroyed. The prickers ripped them to shreds.
Oh
my like my arms are like covered in blood, bleeding, and you're just like,
I'm blushing.
You're like, ooh, friendship.
He loves me.
I'll never forget that day because I was like, what person thinks they should run into the woods, hide, and start choking?
You had to be pissed.
I'll never forget the moment ever. That was 10 years ago, and I still remember it.
I forgot it, but now that you brought it up, I do remember that.
So what's your defense to that? You said you had a defense.
I did, but I don't remember. I think, okay, it was kind of like, you know how you said you don't care about me and you started walking away?
Yeah, exactly.
I felt that, you know, and I just wanted to see, I just wanted to test it, and then sure enough, when it comes to it,
I come through for you.
I can manipulate people into what I need. Attention.
You're like, he's not paying attention to me. I'm going to go die in the woods.
Dude, it's like a different time when you're like kids, you know?
I know.
You just do stupid crap.
Man.
So it's supposed to be funny.
How crazy that was 10 years ago.
Oh, man.
Right about
I can't believe
it was right about 10 years ago at this time.
Man, what a Jew. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize now, you know, that I'm older and wiser.
Yeah. Man. The other one I was thinking, because it was probably right around that time, is do you remember? I was just telling Quinn this because it popped into my head. Do you remember that time that you told off your dad at Hershey Park? And it was the craziest thing you've ever done. So this was
epic.
That was when the new ride came to Hershey Park. And we were so
Sky Rush.
You still remember the name? That's insane.
Oh yeah, dude! I forfeited my life for this.
We promise each other, like as a group of four of us. Somewhere. We still do. We say we're gonna ride front seat. So I think this is a funny part.
Oh yeah, because we wanted to ride front seat in every ride in Hershey Park.
And the Sky Rush was at least an hour wait, no doubt. So I'm pretty sure. So this part may be our fault. I don't remember, but I think our meeting time with your parents was 9 p.m. And we got in the line at like 8. So if everything went perfectly, we'd be there in a nick of time. It did not go perfectly.
It was like an hour and a half or something.
I was about to say, I am pretty sure we were at least half an hour to 40 minutes late to meeting your parents. And your dad was livid. All I can remember is we are having so much fun and we catch his eyes and he is staring through your soul. And I'll never forget the interaction as he starts yelling at you, saying that you need to be more responsible. And he says, he's like, you are grounded for a week. Was it worth it? And you go, yes. To your dad's face, who is red in the face and mad at you, says, was it worth it? You go, it was worth it, Dad. And it just got worse and worse from there. And I'll never forget how mad he was.
2 weeks. Is it worth it now?
And you're like,
no.
No, I'm sorry.
It was like a month or something.
I think he got up to a month, and he just kept going at you.
Oh my gosh, I was such a legend.
That was such a good memory.
You were just looking at me like.
I was like, what is he doing? I was like, no.
Suicide.
Man.
Oh, that was crazy. I forgot about that. We went to Hershey Park all the time.
We did, at least
remember
a few
we went to Darien Lake.
We did. Used to have fun. Now look at us.
Dude, remember that day after the homeschool dance? I think because your mom was in charge of it, or your dad, or like, I knew the Wrights were in charge of it. So like you set it up at Davis College. And I don't know if you went or you were there at the end or something, but I remember I went to your house after. Then we went to Darien Lake.
You're tapping into a memory I do not remember.
Isn't that crazy? I remember that because like we played. I swear that was when you made that catapult out of popsicle sticks. It might be.
No, that
might
could not have been that day.
That was so weird.
What when we stayed? What were
like
you doing
3 in the
that
morning?
night?
And you're like, I'm gonna build this, and it's like you just built. Took you like an hour to make, and I just sat
had
at
to
the
be
table
longer. Had to be longer. You just sat there watching as I put popsicle sticks and made a catapult out of it that didn't even work.
Yeah, then you went to fire it and it just fell apart.
You know what's funny? That day that all happened was probably the most mad I've ever been at you. I don't know if you knew this. You pissed me off more than you ever had, because that morning I was dog tired and couldn't wake up. So you started piling stuff on top of me while I was trying to sleep. Do you remember that?
I remember Ponza. I don't think you were mad.
I was so angry. I'm so tired trying to sleep, and I just kept feeling like stuff pushed down on me slowly. And it's just everything you could find from the room, just like suitcases. You're like, yeah, sure. Like weights. You're like, just start putting weights on me, and everything was just crushing me. And I was so mad at you. I just remember I didn't want. I was like, we're friends. Don't be mad at him. We're friends. Don't be mad at him. And you're just like, get up, throw something on top of me. Get up, throw something else on top of me. I think it's the most mad I've ever been at you, but I didn't show it and I let it go. I never confronted you.
Wow, that's amazing. Good friendship. You have a good friendship with me.
I really do carry this friendship through and through.
I feel like the maddest I've ever been at you, I think, was during like the phase.
We gotta let that go. We just gotta.
Skadoosh! No,
we just gotta.
This is crazy. This blows my mind.
I destroyed a motel door.
We were going to Hershey Park, as we do, and then we brought our significant others.
Let's keep the details to a minimum.
Stupid decision. Yeah, we don't need to know their names. Didn't matter.
It's fine.
Just for the record, did you ever
Yeah, no.
Okay. Anyway.
Dude, I will never forget that though, where I just like destroyed a motel door.
Yeah, you were just like, because we were all fighting, because I think the people we were with really enjoyed drama.
Yeah.
And they were trying to tear us apart for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And then you just were like, why can't we all just get along? And you just started punching the door with both hands. It was a metal door that was like that thick. And I looked back over there, it was dents all in the door.
And you were just like, we should go.
I was like, yeah, we left.
Yeah.
I left.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
We were in the opposite.
I don't think I was mad.
We were in the opposite room of your mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, if Mrs. Hall sees this door, she's gonna kill me.
What was weird how you punched it, you would think a person would punch like this. Yeah. You punched it like this. Like underarm. Like I was like,
I was like 12.
And
what do you want
from
from me?
Dents in the door.
Dude,
did you have like bloody hands?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember. That was so
much
long
milk.
ago.
You just had massive knuckles.
I don't want to. I feel like a lot of that stuff surrounding that can't be talked about here. But I'll just never forget like when the separation between you and that individual happened and all the crazy things that unfolded. I know I'm just like everyone. Ooh, what are they talking about? Well, we can't talk about it. I feel like if that ever got around, it's like actually crazy.
Yeah, I'd have to go to jail definitely. Anyway,
someone in the relationship would, but
yeah, I wanted to share another thing that reminded me of, because I was thinking like, have I ever really been mad at you? I think there's only one real time where I got mad.
Oh my gosh,
Call of Duty. You remember?
Oh my gosh,
remember? I had to leave your house.
You weren't mad. You weren't mad. You weren't mad.
We were together for 3 days, and then I just got to the point where I was like, I have to leave.
You're being a baby. You're remembering it wrong.
I was mad. I left.
Okay.
But anyway, so how it happened? Yeah. Okay. Tell it. We were playing Call of Duty World at War, because we played a lot of games, and we were playing split screen, and we were doing snipers only. So there's some rules you have to follow when you're playing against each other. And one of the rules we set was you have to go back to back and walk like 10 seconds and then turn around and shoot. And for whatever reason, you went 5 seconds and shot me while I was still walking. And it got to the point where I just had both hands around your neck. I saw red. I don't remember. Like, I was just like,
I remember just us being in that room, sitting on buckets or something. We're just like on the floor playing and you just dropped your controller, turned to me with like blood in your eyes, and just started choking me. And I'm like, I was like, I swear I can remember it as funny, but you're convinced that I was like terrified. Oh man,
in my mind, I'm like, I'm real scary.
You
in
were.
your mind, you're like, sit down, you little.
I thought it was.
Have a sandwich. You need some meat on those bones.
All I can remember is I was like, I'm gonna turn my sensitivity all the way up so I can turn faster, and then we get halfway through the count, and I just turn and pop you, and you're so angry.
You violated the codes of conduct. The what's
Geneva
that
Convention?
war code? Yeah, the Geneva Convention. You really violated.
Oh man, that was another good one.
It was a war crime. Yeah. I feel like we're totally off script. Like you had other plans, and then we just
just like reminiscing. That's what always happens. Like we start telling stories, I start reminiscing.
We don't
about
talk
crazy
about this
past.
though normally. Yeah,
I know.
Unless one time I went to your house, we kind of were, but
yeah. Oh yeah, that was another
fun.
good time. Is when I slightly upset my father for one of the few times in my life, and for the only time in my life, he took away anything that was electronic in nature. And you came over.
Right at the heart.
yeah. And I said, I was like, Dada, my friend is coming. Can we play games? And he said, you're still not allowed. So I remember this because it was such a good memory, is we ended up splitting up the day in half, where we each taught each other like our passions. And you spent half the day teaching me how to play a piano. I spent half the day teaching you how to play basketball.
Oh, dude, I remember that. I remember I was kind of pissed at first though, because I was like,
it was kind of like,
tell me you were grounded.
I know.
I wanted to play Xbox, bro. Like,
I know. I remember that because I was like, I don't know what the context was. I think we already were scheduled to hang out. Then all this went down. And I was
scheduled?
like,
we scheduled our hanging out.
Sometimes we did. But I just remember us being like, ooh, this is gonna kind of suck. What are we gonna do? And then you just sat me down. And you're like, this is scale. This is chord. And I'm like, yeah. And you'd walk me through a piano, and then I was like, this is your offhand. This you need to follow through, hand in the cookie jar. Like, and you were like, okay. I remember your shot was pretty good by the end.
You taught me the cookie jar thing. Now I always say cookie jar.
Cookie jar.
When I'm around kids and playing basketball,
I'm a baller.
This is 90% of the time, but when it goes in, I'm like,
yeah, I'm pretty skilled. That was another.
You miss playing basketball or
no? Actually,
didn't you play with some coworkers recently? And before the arm.
So yeah, we're actually bringing up bad memories because right before I broke my arm, I was working out, I was playing basketball, everything was going well. Then I broke my shooting arm. So you want to see my form now? That's about all I can get. So
that's horrifying.
My arm doesn't really lift anymore. So it's
unfortunate.
It's fine. So, but yeah, no, I do not miss it though.
Yeah, well, that's good, I guess. I don't miss soccer. I miss like the smell of the grass.
Do you still have like those moments where you'll go outside, you start sniffing, you're like, this reminds me of Saturday morning in Otsnango Park?
Yeah, definitely. I do smell that. And I'm like, I smell the sweat, the blood, the tears.
Man,
we were never really pushed that hard, but
no. I remember everyone told me, they're like, oh, coach, I remember what it was. It was like, he's hard, he's gonna push you.
Coach kind of wasn't as he didn't push me as hard.
Yes.
He loved me though.
He was a really good guy.
no doxing.
Here's a crazy know
who that is.
Here's a crazy story from that though, where his entire family pissed me off. One of the games was like in Syracuse.
You're like,
and yeah, my mom.
No, you're just gonna.
Oh, it's fine.
Right.
Because this is dumb. This is real annoying. This is actually like pisses me off to this day. I'm doing college classes at home, and like a normal adult, I procrastinated to the last day. Well, on the last day was when all my classes were due. Like I apologize. That's when a soccer game was on the last day. But I said, it'll be fine. I will go to the soccer game, go home, and have like 5 hours left to submit this assignment. Okay? Well, my mom goes, hey, I actually can't come to this game. Coach said he would take you. I'm like, I said, okay, that's fine. Like, it'll be fine. I'll just like play on my phone. I don't even think I had a phone. I'll play on my tablet, whatever. But this part, So they already, so this part is like pretty clear. My mom knows I have stuff to do that night. Everyone knows, like whatever. I like to talk about it. We get done with the game and they go, okay, guys, let's go to Syracuse Mall. And I said, what? I went on a family trip with them to the Syracuse Mall.
What?
And they're just,
do they just have no awareness?
I was like, okay. So we
From
spent
Otsego?
No. It was a game in Syracuse. Syracuse. Yeah. So they're in Syracuse. They said, well, let's go to the mall. So I'm hanging out with, and I'm sorry, his kids don't talk. They don't talk to me.
Yeah,
they're the most introverted people I've ever met. So I'm in Syracuse Mall, like pissed out of my mind because these people took me here against my will, are making me hang out with them, and I have assignments due in like 4 hours. And I'm texting my mom. I'm like, motherfucker. And she's like,
you curse at your mom?
Yeah, I did in the moment. And she's like, you need to tell them you need to go home. And then I'm like,
Papa need to go home.
Yeah, I was like, Papa need to go home. And they're like, well, we still want to stop by Kohl's real quick. And then I think we're still going to get food in the food court. But once we're done with that, we should be able to make it home by midnight. I'll never forget that. Like, I hate, dude. And the worst part is I was so bad at soccer at the time where I didn't really know how to kick. So I would kick it super far, but it would hurt my hip. And it would hurt my hip. And I'd be like, coach, I got to come out. But everyone else on the team sucked and couldn't play defense. So he was like, can you go back in yet? And I'm like, no, my hip hurts. Can you go back in yet? No, my hip hurts. Then he takes me to the mall and I have to walk around for 4 hours. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that was like
to
5
him, it was
years
a coaching
ago.
moment. He's like, I see you walking fine.
I see you walking fine. Well, anyways,
that's hilarious.
that actually, I think that was the night that made me realize college professors, if you suck up to them, they'll let you do whatever you want. That was the night I realized.
Especially in the Christian schools.
100%. You say the Lord drove me to go to the mall, and I had to go. So please forgive me.
It was a spirit thing. You can't. You're asking about the spirit. So.
Yeah, I do not know what the Lord wants.
He moves in mysterious ways.
Yeah, and I would apologize profusely to the professor, and she's like, "Oh, it's okay. You can take a few weeks to submit that." And I'm like, "Wait." So I waited to the last minute, couldn't do it. Now I have a few extra weeks. I was like, so that highlighted the rest of my college career. I would just say, "Hello, professor. I deeply admire you, and I enjoy your course, but unfortunately, can't submit this week." And they'd be like, "It's okay. It's fine.
It's okay. School's shutting down in 4 years."
Yep. Oh, don't gotta bring it up like that. The school's gone.
She gone. Now you wonder why.
Yep.
Now you know why. That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we had like little lives I haven't heard about before. Unless we were confined to an hour window where we had to make conversation.
I feel like we already talked about this and why I'm like enjoying just like doing the podcast so much. It's not even about like actually
I'm looking forward to it every night. Yeah.
It's just like the idea of, it's like so many stories that we haven't told each other in a while, so much history and just like talking about our lives, where usually what we do is we get on, we play games. I go on TikTok, you just look at your lock screen. We wait for the game to start. We play a game of Tarkov, we play a game of something. Then we get off and go, hey, that was a lot of fun. And then this is the best part. I don't know if your wife does this to you, but I will get out there and Quinn will ask me a question about your life that she'll be like, oh, so what about this with Sayla? I go, I don't know. She goes, you guys talk every night for hours. How do you not know? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't ask.
I guess they talk about other things, their well-being.
It'll be like,
you just gatekeep me.
She's like, when's Beth due? And I'm like, huh? Oh yeah, I don't remember. She's like, how do you not know? You talk to him every night. I'm like, I don't know.
Didn't come up.
It didn't come up in conversation. What do they think we talk about?
Wasn't important.
So I feel like that's the good part about this, is we actually get to like talk about stuff outside of video games for once.
Yeah, that's nice. One day when I look back on this, I'll be like, wow, we did something good with our life.
Barely.
Barely?
Barely. I do. Oh. I feel like this does fall in the category. I know it shouldn't, but it falls in the category for me as like a side hustle almost. I know it's not, but it does almost have that feel of, okay, I'm not at work, but I'm being productive. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and I do feel productive. And there is the possibility it could become something. Because, like, that's one thing I was, like, thinking about. I was like, I don't think YouTube is as big as it used to be. I think it's a lot harder to get involved in it now.
Oh yeah.
It's huge. I mean, it's huge now. That's
Mm-hmm.
why. But like, as like a lucrative thing, you can actually like do.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to have more passion than anything to just do it.
Yeah. So we have to have
it'd
the
be cool
passion
though
there.
one day to be to make stuff and like maybe have some fun with that. I think it'd be really cool.
Hey, having my wife, knowing this is the best part for me, knowing that in a few minutes I'm gonna take a break, we're gonna be done, and I get to walk out there and be criticized by my wife for something I didn't even know we were doing wrong.
That's good. She's an important part of this then.
She is.
She's helping us to get better.
I know. I wonder what she's gonna judge. I don't even know. I feel like we like.
That's scary.
Oh, I already know. It's gonna be the 25 minutes it took to actually start the podcast, but it's okay.
I'll just edit that out and post. No one will really care.
Quinn said no criticism this time.
What?
What about Josiah being off-centered? What about the glare in his eyes? What about his shirt being unbuttoned so low?
It was worse.
Yeah. Boom!
No shirt this time.
But
well, it was all me you're criticizing. What the frick?
I got honest. I got on half an hour early.
Well, let's just talk about.
Quinn said, "What about your ugly?"
Proportionate your screen is.
Quinn says, "What about your ugly mustache?" What do you mean?
I shaved mine off.
I didn't. I left.
You did. What about your garbage bag in the corner?
What garbage
like,
bag?
Waste bag. What about your just
the
pile
stuff
of clothes on the floor?
The
what
stuff.
About that black
the stuff
chair
for my
sticking
wedding.
Out? What about you always moving your hair? What about? No. There you go. Yeah, I'm just making crap up now.
It's fine. I accept it. I feel like we need to talk about board games at some point. I feel like that's something that. Like,
look at both of our screens.
I know.
There's just piles of board games behind us.
Look at all this. Look at all the options. That right there.
Yeah,
that's a Lego Wegmans. Did I ever show you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lego.
Well, actually, no, you didn't. You told me it. In my mind, I pictured it.
Yeah, it's a little Lego Wegmans because we're a part of the cult. Which it is. Wegmans is amazing up here.
It is a cult, though.
It is, but it's okay.
I'm glad you agree, though.
It
like,
is.
It'd be different if you're like, yeah, Wegman, because there's still people like that. But you can watch the child sacrifices happening, and you just know it's a cult. Like,
yeah,
you can see
I'm aware, but I'm not going to change it. I love.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, we didn't go this week because Quinn ended up shopping online, like doing all the grocery shopping. But us going these last few weeks, just walking around and being like, like my chest puffed out. I'm like, we shop at Wegmans. We spend 20% more than I'm like, we spend 20% more than anyone else. Like, imagine those pores shopping at Tops and Price Chopper. What pores? I know that's where you shop.
As you're selling your magic cards, like,
yeah.
I need money.
Okay, and here's another crazy part. This is like the sad realization. We have spent more eating out in the past week than I will ever make selling magic cards. We went to Texas. Did I tell you about going to Texas de Brazil? Have you heard about that place? That? You've never heard about that place?
I've heard Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, all right. So, all right, we're not to an hour yet, so I can tell this story. Texas de Brazil, I guess, is a chain, but so this is what it is. Oh man, it was expensive. I'll tell you right off the bat. After the tip, it was $210. So it's okay. It's okay. Let that sink in.
Well, you had alcohol too, right?
We did, and I misheard.
Because alcohol really jumps up the bill.
Without the alcohol, it was probably been $120, $130. Because I misheard her. She said it was $5 a drink, but she was pointing to one when she said that. I interpreted as that being the whole page was $5 a drink. So, it's okay. Anyways, so this place is like I guess it's a steakhouse, but it's like charcuterie, whatever. What happens is you have this little coaster on your desk that's either red or green. When you flip it to green, these guys just start walking around with meat on like a okay.
This dude's meat just free to grab.
Is it right or is that racist?
Is racist,
okay.
I think.
Okay. On this metal pole, that holds the meat, they just walk over to your table and they go, "Would you like some lamb?" And you go, "Oh, yes." And they carve off a piece of lamb.
This sounds like the whitest place ever.
It's not. It's diverse. It's Texas de Brazil. Charcuterie is Native American.
Charcuterie is a white thing.
Skewer.
You can't change my mind.
I think a is still right. Can someone look up this? Am I we about to be canceled already? My dad always says that. Is he being racist?
Your dad says it?
I'm telling you. I'm pretty sure it's right.
100%.
Oh, wait.
My dad says some racist things, too. Cotton picket, he'll say when he's
Quinn,
mad.
Look, or U.S. slang, dragging a word for a person from... Ooh. No, it's not. It's got a... Okay, anyways, a skewer.
Dude, I've said before.
I didn't think... All right, we need to stop. We need to move on. Let's move on.
Twitch is like... I hear this word, this
phrase.
All right,
okay, never mind. I need to stop what we're doing for a second to... I'm telling you.
Price chopper, the prices chop you. That's what Bethany and I say. Your comment got picked up by mods.
How do you make...
No, we have mods? Yes.
Let's see. But I'm thinking spick and span. First of all, there's no racism coming from me. I'm just trying to figure out... I could have sworn... Like, my dad always would say that.
Well, I hate to tell you, but... Our parents, I don't know if they were... They were in the time where you could still remember the separation
I'm telling
of water
you,
fountains.
I feel like an idiot right now, but I promise you that
Dude,
word...
I've said it before too, but I know it's a racial slur as well. A contemptuous term for Spanish-speaking person. Man, you're so racist.
Okay,
I'm gonna label this as racist bit.
Okay, I think I need to move on. I think I'm wrong.
Dude, my dad said it too. Like he'll be like, "Here, put this on the."
Put it on the. In relation
I think it's kind of
to food.
Maybe it's a sign to poverty. You know, like the poor groups have their like slang that are just forgotten.
I'll be honest. I think we just got to move on. I blame my parents for this.
I blame my parents. Every time I'm here, I'm going to talk about Wegmans real quick because I know what were you talking?
Okay.
Talking about
no,
that?
I don't care about your Wegmans story. I'm going to go back to mine so we can move on from.
I will talk about Wegmans though because I think I need to let you know.
Skewer. And just to clarify, if you shop at Price Chopper, you are poor. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
I agree. I'm poor.
Wait, obsolete. Nail, a spike, slender piece of wood or metal used as a fastener. That's a spike.
If you shop at Wegmans, you're definitely racist.
Clearly,
we have a Wegmans shopper who just says all the time.
I think it's Spike.
Thinking he's right. Eating at white charcuterie board.
I swear, I promise.
Spending $180.
You said the same thing.
Eating. Bring the over. Give me my charcuterie and lamb.
I'm telling you, I think
you're racist bitch. All right, continue. I want to hear this.
Man, I still think I'm right, but I'll move on. I'll let
your last name is right.
Anyways, so dude, they just walk over, just like it has to be like 8 people walking over with skewers. Skewers, I said to clarify. And they'll be like, "Do you want garlic sirloin?" Yeah, sure. And right as they leave, and you're saying yes to getting garlic sirloin, another person walks over. Yes, you in the front.
What was the ethnicity of these gentlemen bringing the food?
Every ethnicity. I shouldn't say every.
Spanish-speaking individuals.
Yes, there were.
Now I think we know why there was a issue with...
No. We're gonna get banned immediately. But I'm telling you. Anyways, but
I'm listening.
Super delicious.
I'm interested in this story.
Basically, I've moved on from this. It's expensive. It was very good.
You're just flexing for like an hour. Yeah, that's cool. I've never eaten at a real expensive place.
Yeah.
I will the cruise.
It's because you shop at Price Chopper, so
it's true.
I want you to know I turned off the fan for this and my hands are sweating.
Dude, I'm sweating.
Yeah. Can we call it? Can I turn the fan back on, get the AC running?
Just turn it on. We're gonna keep talking because I think you can't just leave on the comment.
You gotta stop saying it. I think you gotta stop saying it. So yeah.
I'm gonna say it. No, I won't.
Okay. What were you gonna say about Wegman? Sorry.
I mean, I've told you this before, but I feel like when we went in there, I was all about Wegmans because it's really cool, but it's like it takes an hour to get anything in there. You can't just walk in and get your groceries quick.
Are you? Do you not shop there very often? Huh.
No,
okay.
When you go there, there's just crowds of people. We had to wait in line.
All right, So it's clearly you're not a true Wegmans shopper. Let me introduce you to the Wegmans Scan and Go app. It's a new app that allows you to scan items as you're shopping.
Are true.
Bethany?
Yeah, she's like, people who really like it definitely are in the cult.
Okay, so next time you should go, and this is what I recommend. You go and you use their app that allows you to scan items as you're going, and you can skip.
Why
the
do you feel
checkout.
the need to defend Wegmans?
Because you
That's
want
all I'm
you
gonna
want to know.
say.
In all honesty, you want to know why? It started
Why?
in Rochester.
Oh, so it's like kind of like
The
gatekeeping
local.
now.
Yeah, it's like local.
This is a gatekeeping thing.
There's 13 Wegmans within 20 minutes of us.
I can guarantee you. I want to look it up, but I won't. But I feel like I can guarantee you the same people who bring food to Wegmans probably bring it to Price Chopper.
No,
Probably
false.
bring it.
100%.
You think they have a real bakery?
Well, yes.
I'm just gonna ask you.
No. Yes.
Classic example of ignorance.
Yo, what do you? What do you
Because
know?
I went there and I was talking to one of the bakers there, and they said they just get things brought in frozen.
No, lies. I have witnessed them making bread.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they make bread. They put it in the bake oven.
I guess
but they get it frozen.
I forgot. You don't really live in Rochester, home of Wegmans. How many Wegmans do you have? One?
Oh,
So-
how many Wegmans do you have? This is
just
so
one.
toxic.
All right,
So you just have one Wegmans?
up here where, how do I say this nicely? The home value up here is a little higher than where you're from, is a nice way to put it. We
Okay,
have multiple
I'm listening.
Wegmans where they have.
So you have multiple Wegmans, okay?
Yeah, so you know what Quinn and I do? We'll go. This is how we talk actually when we're not on a podcast talk. We go, what Wegmans do you want to go to this week? And I go, we have a little wheel we use, so we pick a random one every time.
Wow, I just wish I was you, I could just go to 3 Wegmans,
Yeah.
take all day,
Why are you
buy bread that other people make.
If you weren't
I
such
make
a
my own.
hipster, yeah, 30 hours. You go, it takes 30 hours. Takes me $100 to make one loaf, but hey, what do I know?
Your loaves are inferior.
No, actually, when I made my whipped ricotta and peach toast.
Did you make the ricotta cheese over the oven with what's it called? Acidic acid? Did you use that? Or?
Acidic acid.
Acidic acid? Did you use that? Here, hang on, ricotta. Ricotta.
Acidic acid. Did you use the cheese?
Ingredient. Did you use the milk? Here,
Acidic acid.
do you know how a ricotta's made, or
Ricotta?
do you
No,
not know?
I'm not.
You don't know?
I do know. It's like over the stove. They like separate the curd. I don't know.
Oh, you can use vinegar, but there's also an acid you can. I have the acid. I just forget what it's called.
Use it for
called
pretzels?
acid,
Don't you use
I
it for
think.
pretzels, or no? Is that a separate?
No, it's different. But
So
yeah, you bought someone else's product. Yeah,
oh, okay.
that's cool.
So
I can take that farther and just I make my bread. I don't make my coffee.
you don't grow your own. Have you ever thought of that? What's the process actually growing your own coffee beans?
I don't think we have the right climate. I think it has
Couldn't
to
you
be
do
like
it indoors?
hot. We have poverty, so I think that's part of it. Because a lot of places like Ethiopia, Brazil.
Oh, I was like, poverty. What's that mean? I was like, is that an ingredient?
You're like, oh, I don't know what that is. I shop at Wegmans.
I shop at Wegmans.
Wegmans.
I can't roll my R's or W's like you just did. So.
I picture you like getting in a car accident and being like, "Oh, time to call AAA." Me, I just sit there and cry.
Oh man, you just don't get it.
This is fun.
I feel like
I liked Wegmans until Bethany was like, "It's a cult," and then she like pulled the wool off my eyes, and I was like, I just saw zombies walking in line like forced to buy the food.
We are actually. Whenever I go in there, I guess what I see is like the heart and soul that they put into their like. Maybe it comes from work. All right, so this is what it is.
Simple marketing.
No, so I'm about to say this is what it is. I think it's coming from a retail background. Like you walk down the shelves, you're like, it is so faced. It is so in stock. Like the presentation's fabulous. I'm like, how do they do this on such a large scale? I just don't get it. The amount of employees
They probably
have
hire Hispanic people.
I'm not gonna say it.
You're not good. Don't. You've said it enough.
I've said it in context of cooking incorrectly, and I apologize. But my dad and your dad has used that before, so maybe they're the racist one.
Does your dad say cotton picket when he's mad?
No, actually.
Mine does. So I'm starting to think like, there's something off.
Parents are actually unknowingly racist, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's different time.
Yeah, like did you know Peanut Gallery is also racist? It's like the peanut gallery is like
Sounds
where
racist.
the minorities would sit. So when they'd be like, I'm not from the peanut gallery. That's what that means.
Oh no!
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
You ruined my life. I say that all the time.
Really?
Like,
You do say
I don't
that,
need your
actually.
2 cents from the peanut gallery.
Well, you and I are the same. I say skewer wrong. You say other thing.
We are similar after all, even though I don't shop at Wegmans.
Where do
I
you
do shop
though?
at Price Chopper once in a while. I hate it there. I do.
You do hate Price
Aldi's,
Chopper?
yeah.
It's
The prices are awful.
I hate
and,
to
like, you
correct
don't get what you want. You have to buy crap.
I hate to correct
that
you
is
again.
just there.
But it's actually Aldi. There is no Aldi's. It's Aldi. You're shopping at Aldi.
I get Aldi's from Aldi's.
I get Aldi's. It's Aldi.
It's the poverty coming through. Do you hear it in my voice?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Aldi,
Yeah.
I like Aldi though.
Yeah, good.
I was actually.
I just the problem with Aldi though is like you don't get, at least the one around here, you don't get what you need because I would be like, oh, I need milk. They're out. Are you out of milk?
Yeah, exactly. They have the most random stuff.
Yeah.
That's my complaint with it. You know
Really
what's-
good prices there.
Do you know what's actually going to work at Aldi? And then I submitted my.
You're like, no, I'm going to Wegmans.
I submitted my resume wrong 4 times. So I think at that point I realized I didn't actually want the job. That was a whole fiasco. You love your
sad.
P-Chop, Malia. P-Chop's bad. It's real bad. I think maybe I'm pretentious now, but I think a lot of grocery stores just smell. Like when I walk into them, I'm like,
dude, you don't even know. There's this place called right over there across
don't
the street
call
from
them
where I
out
live.
like that.
Oh, you're right.
Dang.
Here, bleep that. Bleep, editor, bleep that. You won't ever find it. I don't think there's a place for it, but I mean, who's gonna know? I'm gonna call it out again.
1 star on Google.
It sucks, man. You walk in, it smells like fish. Like it just smells like a fish just died on the floor, and no one cleaned it up for months. Beth walked in and was like, ooh, and she had to leave, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get the butter. I don't mind. I was like puking in my mouth, and then there's just like one worker there, and it's all congested.
I think, like, that's what happened when we go to Tops. We were doing Instacart, and
Tops.
we're
Don't get me
going,
started.
dude, we're going into Wegmans, and it's like this. We look at the Instacart app. It's like, go to section 8A, da da da, and it just points you directly to the item. You go to Tops. It's like,
You're so pampered.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, let's go shop at Tops. It's like good money. We go look. It's like, go to the left corner of the store. You should find some candy. Grab the M&Ms. And couldn't I searching all over, and half the stuff we couldn't find.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, what a waste.
It's
of
a
time.
nightmare. The Tops we have here, it's so slow. I don't know if it's that way with you, but you walk in and there's just one old lady on the register, and there's like 8
Yep.
people in line, and she's just like, and I'm like, I hate you.
It took. I didn't call them over because I just wanted to see how long it would take. But yesterday I actually went into Tops because they sell, like, I wanted to try these Moscow mules, and I wanted to. They have like red, white, and berry I like, and I know that once you scan it at self checkout, they're gonna have to come over and help you. The guy's standing right next to me. I do it, and he goes, dude, please wait. You have an age restricted item. So I'm sitting with my ID out like this, staring at him. The side of his head, I'm like this. Staring. I just
At Wegmans, we'd already be out.
exactly, and I'm just staring at the side of his face, and he's just sitting there, and I'm just waiting. And eventually, he looks at me and goes, "Oh," looks at my ID for half a second, doesn't even look at the age, and goes, "All right, have a good one." I'm like,
What a prick.
well,
Yeah, I do think Wegmans is solid. Like, I think it's
It
one of
is.
the best places around here. It's just a long drive for me, so I hate on
Yeah.
it. But genuinely, like the Wegmans we have here, it's like you walk in and there's just like, just takes forever to get what you need. Maybe I just need to get more familiar with it.
no, I'm telling you, the Scan and Go app, like not having to ring out, saves you what 15 minutes.
It's just so convenient going to Price Chopper. It's
Yeah,
like 2 minutes
I get
away.
it.
Yeah.
I get it. You like to have inferior product choice.
Yeah, I prefer to make it myself and order. Last bread I made from flour that was milled 45 minutes from where I live. So,
So you still have to buy the wheat, is what I'm hearing.
what am I, Amish? Do I look Amish to you, or I'm just gonna be out in
You
the
said-
field
you said
like?
you're gonna- Yeah.
You know what? One day I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna rub it in your face. I'm
Have
like,
you-
eat it,
Oh,
eat it.
have you ever seen that video where that guy made the chicken sandwich from complete scratch?
Yeah,
You should
that
try
was
something
crazy.
like that. Where he's like,
yeah, and
I'm
then they
gonna.
just kill the chicken. Remember that?
Yep.
I was like,
You should do like it was a video where he like flew to the coastline to grab salt water to turn it into salt. Like that'd be fun to do, like complete scratch.
yeah, I'm gonna do that one day, just to just to spite you, and then you're gonna eat it and be like, Wegmans is better.
Wegmans is amazing. I think what they, like I said, what they do in their like one section where they just like put food together for you. They're like, you know what? Let's make a charcuterie board for people. Let's
well, you're unable to
sandwiches.
make your. You can't even make your own freaking food.
You can't tell me you don't
okay,
like in a rush. You look over and it's like
just like mom makes. I can make food better than any of those scuzzes on that line.
I don't believe you, actually.
I'll make you a grilled cheese.
I've had pancakes from you where you forgot the butter. So
when I was 12.
When I was 12.
Dude, I made ricotta lemon zest pancakes the other day.
Ricotta is so... I didn't realize how good it was and how versatile it was. Did you make the ricotta yourself?
No, I wanted to. But no, she wants to eat right now. I will make the ricotta. All right, I will. I have the ingredients. I have the acidic acid.
Quinny B said Josiah is the best cook, so STFU. Let me just deny that message. Denied.
I'm squeezing you. This is the little gnat on my screen.
You're a good cook.
But anyway.
You are.
I try. I
really
I'm getting better. Sometimes I mess up.
You're like
the other day, I made noodles and they just turned brown. I was like,
you know, this is. So I'm gonna call Quinn out for a second. She doesn't make stuff from scratch, but whenever she makes dinner, it is great. Every time we have dinner, it's good. Like always, always something I've never had before.
Good.
But the one thing she struggles with, and it's the easiest thing in the world, she can't like get noodles or any sort of pasta al dente. She cannot.
I did to be al dente.
Every time she's like,
the girls at Wegmans know how.
Yeah, exactly. Quinn will be like, can you help me with the noodles? I'm like, you just made the craziest meal that took you hours of slaving, but this part is the struggle.
Do you want to know a little secret that I found?
What's your secret?
When I make homemade noodles, so homemade noodles from scratch, they literally take 1 to 3 minutes to turn al dente, whereas the store-bought ones take like 15 minutes.
That's a very... How is that a secret?
It's a secret because like whenever I use store-bought noodles, they're always too crunchy. I run into the same problem because I don't let them go long enough.
Too crunchy. I think...
Yeah.
I just sit over them from like if they say the range
I will eat them while I'm making them because I just have no idea. I'm like, when are they ready?
Honestly, that's what I do. If it says 7 to 9 minutes, I go from 6 to 10, and every minute I go. And right before it tastes good, I take it off the heat.
Maybe I'm not buying the right Wegmans noodles because I just read that it doesn't take 15 minutes to make Wegmans noodles. Well, maybe I'm not buying Wegmans noodles.
Well, actually, you also can't read.
I'm buying poor person noodles.
You also can't read because it says homemade noodles. So
I can't read. I'm poor, remember? Poverty. I wasn't taught.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people here like shop at Price Chopper. I remember when I thought Price Chopper was good. I used to think like that.
You are such a prick.
It's okay.
But we're friends, you know, so.
It's fine.
One day when I surpass you in something, who knows what, I'll be like, see? But until then, you'll eat at Wegmans and I will eat at Price Chopper, and these will be our differences.
Dude, let's call it. I want to play some games tonight.
Yeah, I do too, but hang on. So you ragged on your wife, but have you ever picked up making food?
Yes.
Besides appetizers that are simple?
Oh, you're gonna take a shot at me like that?
Yeah, you shot your wife. I'm gonna shoot you. I just want to hear what you have to say.
So actually, I'll tell you, I have one experience like actually putting a lot of effort into food, and it ended terribly. So I haven't really put too much effort in since. It was when I said I'm going to. He never cooks. Quinn, every time I do cook, it's great. Okay. I just want to clarify. I make great dinner. Anyways, I was gonna start meal prepping. So at my parents' house, I did meal prep, and it was delicious, right? So went through, I did everything, and I made it a huge mess, but I was going to clean it up. It took me like 6 hours to make a week's worth of food, so I was going to take a break. My dad was like in my face upset. He said, you think you can make a mess, abuse my kitchen, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, you better clean this. Because he cooks a lot, right? Yeah, and I just needed a break. So ever since that, where I just got like lambasted for not cleaning up after myself, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to rely on other people. What do you mean you never heard of me cooking? I'm gonna pull up pictures of me making delicious food, and every time I've been
You're
on
like
keto.
3 years old, playing in like the flower.
Yeah.
Look at me go.
Yeah.
Dude, that reminds me. I know you want to go, but I'm just like, I've been eating so much food because I'm trying to get bigger, you know. But I just eating everything in sight, and I just feel so sick because I eat such small portions. I eat like little pieces of food.
Just to say this, and not to like, this is a no way meant to like take shots at you or my wife or anyone that cooks, but if you do cook and bake from scratch, at the end of the day, you're just a good rule follower and you just read instructions well. You have no skill and it does not apply to anything in life. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. This was a great time.
Wegmans troglodyte.
Troglodyte. This was a great time. I had a great time.
It really was.
I'm happy you can follow directions through and through. You do good. Josh Weitzman is your muse.
Since you haven't been making food, you must not be able to follow directions.
I've already proved myself. I'm ready to move on.
Okay, I'm glad.
Not a single time I made dinner for you. Well, you come up like 3 times, and we have to eat out every time. So, anyways, I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, that was what a mistake of a podcast. That felt great.
I know. It had a rough start and a rough ending. There was racism somewhere, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, okay, my camera had problems, but you were racist.
So who's worse?
I think I can be forgiven. You will be remembered for all of time. Yeah. That was a really good time. High five.
All right, boss. All right, end stream. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.